All right, welcome. Just like the Jeffersons, we are moving on up with a road to revenue and happiness. Welcome to the 2-minute drill. First, I need to thank Clarity Experiences. I've been doing live events with them for years. Can you believe I'm not live? That's right, I'm a hologram. No, I'm live, but the set is virtual. I want to thank Clarity Experiences for always being there, both in person and on the big stages, but now creating the big stages in person for me for 2-minute drill, as well as Bloomberg, our media partner. You will be catching this on Bloomberg TV, Reach TV, Entrepreneur. We are all over the place and featured on Spotify. You can listen to it as well. Welcome to Friday Training. Let's get started with the 2-minute drill. What are we going to do? We have 7 contestants. Each are going to pitch for 2 minutes. I'm going to give them my feedback and then allow them to ask a question for clarification, hopefully bringing value to everyone out there. Remember, we have the perfect pitch guide for everyone available for free with exercises, guides, my book, david@dmeltzer.com, or you can always join my text community at 949-298-2905. Okay, let's jump right into this competition and get started. Our first contestant is sponsored by Alkaline 88. Hey, Giovanni, let's get this thing running.
Hello, Dave and everyone. Thank you for having me today. My name is Giovanni Kage, and I am the Chief Sales Officer at Be Faster. So Be Faster, let me just provide a quick glimpse as I talk quickly about our company. So Be Faster, we provide a decentralized mobile application to motivate our customers and stakeholders to be fit, fast, and get paid. Our work is to provide the B universe consisting of application users, e-commerce partners, sponsors, enterprise investors, and the sports industry with an autonomous fitness and motivation system. The Faster's mobile application business allows B users to compete in fitness challenges such as 1v1 runs all the way to local, regional, and global multiplayer competitions. And our e-commerce business provides e-commerce partners, B partners, with a loyal customer base through posting their product catalog on our application. So for instance, B partners can upload products onto the app, store them there, then sell in as many markets as they want with the smartest price. B partners can connect onto the app from Amazon, Dick's Sporting Goods, Walmart, Nike, Cabela's, and any other sales platform out there to easily import their new products. They can also directly import catalogs from suppliers and can track real-time prices of their products compared to other same products in the app so that they can remain competitive within the app and outside of the app, right? So BeFaster charges a 10% transaction fee on every bet and product transacted in the B universe. And actually, our technology runs on blockchain, artificial intelligence, smart price e-commerce technology, and 2 forms of cryptocurrency, the BeFaster coin currency for the B users and the BeFaster holder coin cryptocurrency for app VIP investors. So to summarize, the fastest mobile application is made so people can bet cash and cryptocurrency to compete in fitness challenges, and e-commerce firms can bet their products to compete for a loyal customer base. The Faster is
All right.
on course to launch the app
Got to
Q4,
run out of time,
Q1
my friend. We got
2021.
to run out of time. Anyway, thank
Yeah,
you, Giovanni. Great pitch. here's what I see. Number one, I like the use of the screen behind you. A lot of people via the virtual technology, we're pitching virtually. A lot of times they're not taking advantage of having notes taped up around them. You shouldn't be reading the pitch, but we actually should be looking and seeing what technologies, what things we can use to assist. And you've done a great job at that. I think where it fell short for me is number one, the need, right? We want to make sure that not only you had great credibility in what you did, polished, rehearsed, well practiced, but you're missing the emotional connection at the start. We had to talk about you have a great opportunity with the pandemic, with what's going on about the fitness world and what the need is, so that you then created a void that you could have fulfilled with the reasons, impacts, and capabilities that you were describing so effectively. And then the last part is we got to make sure that we're well rehearsed in order to fit what we want to fit into the pitch, especially the main component over 33% of the time, we forget to ask. And I don't know, you probably ran out of time, but when you're pitching, right, we either have to ask how we could be of service or value, or two, we need to ask, do you know anyone that can help me? I'm looking for this much money at this valuation. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that. I'm looking for a partnership, a channel partnership, whatever it may be. You don't get unless you ask in a pitch. I always said, it's funny. I had a company on and I said, gosh, your pitch could just be try this. And if you like it, let me know who else you think would like it. Now, I know that's not 3 minutes, but it's a pitch that could be effective if the product sells itself, if it sells through people, that it's the highest quality of product. I would say that you have so much detail that you forgot the high level need, description of quantified reasons, impacts, and capability, and ask, right? We talk about very credible, miss the emotional attachment, but I miss the story, right? The story about why I should invest or partner or whatever else you're looking at. But I love a pitch that utilizes technology, knowing where they're pitching and why they're pitching. And two, I love someone that has practiced, well polished. You had great credibility. Remember, credibility is the number one thing. So you might move on to the next round. I appreciate it. What question do you have for me?
Well, my question for you, Dave, was where will you place your bet within Be Faster? That's all.
So that question could have been in the pitch. I'd like to learn more. So I would love to go to the next step of learning more. Obviously, a pitch is what? To stimulate interest, to get someone to move on to the next step, to transition that interest. So I'd love to have some material sent over and see how I could be of service to you, either with our free training, obviously on Fridays available to everyone, our private group consulting that I have, or even maybe some one-on-one stuff that I could do with you. Does that sound fair?
That sounds amazing. Thank you so much, Dave.
All right. Thank you so much, Giovanni, our first contestant. Now we move on. The second contestant is brought to you by CBD MD, OVM Property Media, Real Estate Media Workflows. All right, Henry, you ready to get this thing flowing?
I'm ready. I'm Henry Jimenez, CEO and founder of OVM Property Media, and we're looking for mentorship and network opportunities with high volume agents and brokerages in the Central and South Florida area. So real estate photography and videography, it's been done, it's being done, and it's going to continue to be done. We just know how to do it better through our streamlined photo, video, drone, and 3D media packages. So I studied graphic design in college and later served as a marketing director for a local brokerage. Here, I developed and saw firsthand the competitive advantage that a high quality, consistent, and effective listing media workflow brought not only to our agents, but to our brokerage overall. So I decided to invest in my own equipment and hyper-focus my time into perfecting that workflow. Now, over the past 2 years, we've gained an elite level reputation in our local market, as well as integrated with brokerages and agents to not just help sell homes faster and more efficiently, but to gain a higher listing volume and in turn revenue. So instead of monetizing short-term on my individual value as a freelancer, I rather invest my time and my efforts in my team's future by creating a sustainable, impactful system for our clients. So when the market's down, we want our clients to be up. So I created a detailed SOP that ensures consistency, quality, and accuracy across the board and allows for a high volume output. Now, our hurdle right now is attaining the volume that our original business model was designed towards. So IBIS World Statistics has Florida as the second most active housing market in the United States. And according to the Orlando Business Journal, the median price point in July was $270,000. So a 3% keep for that is over $8,000. Shows a huge economical impact that one more listing a month can have on an agent. So, David, with your extensive knowledge of the real estate market, with your understanding of high output efficiency and your understanding of longevity, do you see any reason why you wouldn't want to move forward?
Nice. All right, Henry. Very good pitch once again, right on time, obviously well rehearsed, clearly defining what you do. I like that part of it, giving you the credibility in a local. I wasn't quite clear on how that scales beyond Florida. It may or may not, but it may be something to discuss. I think the quantification was so interesting because you I think sold yourself short on the quantification. You just listed out what one more listing would equal $8,000. Great ROI to what you're doing, the service solution, et cetera. With more customers, you would be able to profit because you have that great 120 rule, right? If you give me $20, I'm going to give you $100. But I think you also listed out a lot of other quantitative reasons that you could have added into the ask, right? So speed of sale, right? Having the statistics of, with the proper media connected to, it sells a month faster. With that month, this is the money, time, resources that are saved, right? Being able to get an extra listing, whatever it is, from our experience, this is how much on average the price has gone up, right? Beyond one more extra listing, there was all these other variables that you list that quantify the reason I would want to move forward. Specifically on the ask, I'm okay with someone pitching, hey, do you want to go to the next step? Do you want to transition interests, see some more information? That you clearly had a really nice ask. And obviously you watched some Dave Meltzer sales videos about, can you see any reason why you won't want to move forward? So that played to my emotions and ego, which isn't bad because it shows that you're more interested than interesting, and it adds to your credibility. What question might you have for me?
Really just communicating the actual value in who we are and our value proposition in such a little time, just really creating that engagement and like the engagement to set somebody up for the urgency or them genuinely seeing the reason to move forward, or at least just ask more interesting, like that they're interested. So to ask more questions.
So, this is a classic example of being more interested than interesting. I actually break out a spreadsheet. And look and see every area that I can save money, make money, or supplement money, time, and resources. I break down what my businesses are, the ones that I'm investing in, the ones that I'm channel partnering with or partnering with. And I actually do what I call a quantification analysis. The quantification analysis has me pay attention to and give intention to all the different details that other people may miss that won't necessarily be clear, like clarity behind me. So look at the math. All of those areas about what would one extra week mean? What would one extra day mean? What does 10% on average sale price mean? What does one extra listing mean? All the different things that you have experienced locally there in Florida with your company, it has a math to it. And then what I do is kind of start with the math, describe the math, end with the math, because in the end, like I said, if you're credible and you can explain the math in your deal, there is no reason anybody wouldn't want to move forward. And I look forward to learning more as well. Thank you so much, Henry.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Great job. Well, we are moving right along. Incredible pitches and questions. Thank you so much to the contestants. Our next pitch is presented by one of my favorites, Dale Carnegie. One of my mentoring clients, Gigi, ironically, the company is Mentorship Program. All right, Gigi, it's up to you. Make me look good.
Hi, David. So first I want to say that I started with this idea of developing a mentorship program. So a few years ago, I was just wanting to collect someone who like no do an MBA for the company, but I was never happy because I was listening to the the external world for validation. I was living in my day-to-day life, going to be able to validate. And also, the one mental negative expression of the opposite of what in the most common. I started looking to learn about myself and the mistakes that I made. But that was the first step. The second step is I started asking for help. And he radically using radical community for acceptance, understanding, and this accountability of math. So when then it started, I was like, what can I do to improve my quality of life and the quality of people around me? Because before this pandemic, I believe we had a community. And I was very working with multiple, but then I started working with and practice. I started to change the belief system from I'm not a man, you are living in the world of you. And in 4 months, I managed to increase my social media presence and fund. And that was because the belief in my mission was that is not message. So my purpose and my passion is to tell people that in the person that I am, like you, and to find sponsors or how do you solve this to the next level while I'm developing this program for different people who want to join the program and they want to get better in your practice. So what I'm asking is for your time, and I tell you, you are harder than anyone you ever know in this month. It's really using.
All righty. All right, Gigi. Just so you know, this is a valuable lesson in pitching. I remember when I first started working for West Publishing, I had a huge opportunity to present Westlaw, Legal Research Online, to the entire Bar Association of New Jersey. And back then, we had overhead projectors that had old turnstiles of slides, and you would click a clicker and they went. And I was 24 years old. This was a multi-million-dollar opportunity for me, just on commissions alone, let alone the company obviously would make more. I assumed that everything was going to work okay. And one of the things that we need to do when we're pitching is, beyond any doubt, whether it's on our side or on your side, make sure that people can clearly hear, because I don't know on your end or on my end, but I could not hear the pitch. And we get one chance to pitch. And so improvising. So number one piece of advice for everyone out there is not only do we practice, but being more interested than interesting. We meant to double check and triple check to make sure all of the technology on both sides are working. Now, that being said, that if we have time, I'd like to circle back and give you your 2 minutes back again, because I'd like to hear what it was, and I will make the time, since we're on my Friday training, the road to revenue. But it's a valuable lesson. This is one that I would love everyone to learn, is that if we're going to do a pitch, let's make sure the best that we can that the technology is working to the ability that we have a headset or not, but making sure we have triple checked. And if it's on our side, then once again, there's nothing you can do except for improvise and ask for more help. Let me see if I can hear a question. If we can, do you have a question for me, Gigi?
Well, I want to say that when we did the testing yesterday, it was working.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back. Hopefully I'll have time. I'm going to go back to you and we'll put you back into the queue, and I'm going to let you pitch again and ask a question. But I think this was well worth it as a valuable tool for everyone to see, and hopefully that you'll hang in there with me. All right, let's go on to the next contestant, presented by my dear friend, Eric Lee, one of the founders of LinkedIn. You got. And Jefferson has a company called Dash City Esports. All right, my friend, it's time for you to make a dash.
Let's go. Esports is the next global sport, and though it's a huge inclusive industry with over $40 billion in consumer spending annually just here in the US, there are still many gamers left sitting on the sidelines due to the high cost of equipment and undeveloped internet infrastructure. Dash City Esports will be an elite esports gaming center that will provide the latest in gaming technology, and multimedia production services. We'll offer in-house equipment rentals, light food beverage choices, weekly tournaments, weekly specials, retail gaming, merchandise and accessories, and finally, multimedia production services. Our purpose is to bridge the gap between average gamers, content creators, and the esports multimedia production industry, then become their home base. The path into the professional esports industry is unclear and disjointed, and there is little to no access to pro esports or storytelling assistance here in Forsyth County, North Carolina. We will build an equal opportunity complex designed and operated to provide quality gaming, contests, and content creation in a safe and exciting environment. Our center will reduce these barriers of entry by lowering the cost of access to equipment, and we will build a supportive community of staff and ambassadors whose mission is to create, play, and compete together. Now is the time to stake our claim before the esports venue race gets started. Just like every hometown needs a little league field, so too will be the demand and adoption of esports centers. Our multifaceted service business will ensure that we will be ready to level up with the market demand. It's going to cost approximately $150,000 to open the facility, and I'm getting closer to that goal every day thanks to my complimentary marketing agency. So here's my ask, Dave. Will you be my mentor and guide me through creating a complementary organization to Sports One marketing to save me years of dummy tax in return for calling our esports coaching services the Meltzer Esports Academy?
Wow. Well, you nailed it, my friend. You hit me emotionally. What a great pitch. There's a few things that, we can look at and improve. Obviously, you've done your research. Great pitch. There's some areas though that I think you could look at as far as historically in the space. I would have liked to see, and because we're teaching here, I'd like to see some comparative businesses from historical analysis of things that started out in gaming. The arcade history of how that, in what revenue that generated, and then mini golf or water boats or basketball courts or softball fields or these recreational centers, because I know the business very well, not only esports, but I know the recreational space business very well. Another area I'd like to see is not necessarily own individual facilities for Dash, but one of the areas that I would be happy to advise and help you with as well is the channel side of what it is. So I know, for example, Top Golf and other companies that already have built out facilities, already have audiences, already have marketing plans. As you see a need in the retail space that has been decimated over the last 20 weeks, being able to piggyback at a far less point of entry, a far less cost of point of entry than you will. So I think, very great, very nice pitch, polished, prepared, timely, an ask, which was reasonable, emotionally connecting to me. Quantification of the business, I think, is the area of improvement where you could have quantified the opportunity of what some of these similar or synergistic or supplementary businesses are making and what your expenses would be. You had time to do that because you were so organized. So that's where I would improve. What question do you have for me, Jefferson?
Yeah, so when you're looking at the esports industry, and I know you like to invest in the picks and canvases of a particular industry or gold rush, what do you think is the picks and canvases of the esports gold rush?
Well, I think you nailed it, right? I have a lot of experience in the academy side of it. So way back when I was working with some of the greatest quarterback academies, right? The Steve Clarksons of the world, the George Whitfields of the world, understanding, beyond the irrationality of sports, what people will spend for someone to sign, or if you see the prices. I know Gary Vaynerchuk and a whole group of us are working with trading cards, and it just blows me away to see what NBA and baseball and football cards are selling for right now, because there's an irrational emotional attachment to sports. But there's one thing that is more emotionally attached, that has more value, and that's our children, right? I've seen moms literally go without food to make sure their kid has violin lessons, piano lessons, quarterback lessons. And so with that academy space, it's a picks and axes, canvases business where we're in education. I think also you can see, because of COVID and the pandemic, that there is an extraordinary opportunity online as well for the Dash Academy, as that brand is facilitated in person. It also can be online. I have a few ideas of bringing in, as you know, I'm an initial investor in Overactive Media, the Toronto franchise. I want to, in NACL with David Chen as well, would love to bring in some of the greatest players to be teachers and professors and brand them just like we did Whitfield and Clarkson in the quarterback space. Start branding different stars of Fall Guys and, you know, all the great games, Madden, NBA 2K, all the different relationships that we have, of course, Fortnite as well, or League of Legends and Dota, and all the great games. We could get the top 20 players to be celebrity teachers at the Meltzer Academy for esports as well. So that's where I see it going. Once again, I'd be happy to be an advisor and to assist you in accelerating and growing that business. Thank you, Jefferson.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Wow, I'm so impressed with everyone. What a great job we've been doing. Great as our sponsors as well. Moving on to our next sponsor, Vivint Solar is our next sponsor of this contestant. Lindsay Pearson, the Kangaroo Caddy. Let's get things hopping, Lindsay.
Hi, Dave. Thanks for having me. I am a professional house cleaner, and I'm doing the Kangaroo Caddy out of here in Mississippi. It is a organizer for your cleaning supplies with an opening up top and a detachable bottom, so you can throw your dirty rags in while you're cleaning and dump them when you're done. There's never been a system set in place for dirty rags, and we're wiping out dirt, germs, bacteria, viruses off the toilets and floor. And most cleaning companies use plastic bags, and we're using billions of plastic bags every year within the cleaning industry just to transfer these dirty rags out of each house. So I invented this to make cleans more convenient, sanitary, eco-friendly, and the Kangaroo Caddy will save billions of plastic bags. And right now, it's ready to be manufactured. COVID kind of messed up our plans for China. We're going to get our molds made there and then brought over here production. So we kind of have to change our game plan now. So I would love if you have any input on that for manufacturing. I am open to licensing and getting an investment to build my own manufacturing. But yeah, I just need this in the industry and
Awesome. Okay, Lindsay, so this is a good illustration of a great emotional pitch, right? Because it has such a great cause, it has a great cause behind it, but it also is demonstrative, meaning that you did a really nice job of showing the product and how it works. And so if you have an opportunity, it's kind of like sample this or try this, being able to effectuate, you know, showing it, utilizing the virtual nature and advantage of being there. I got the picture. Where it needs a lot of work is on the quantifiable side of things, right? Like, what are the cost of goods? What's the market size? How many different, you know, bags, you know, our billions are sold, but where's the market of purchase? How many cleaning supply companies are there? How, whatever those numbers are, we always want to make sure in a pitch that we have the math. And I think everyone falls on two kind of schools. Is they'll either hit you up on the credibility and emotional side, or they go the credibility and the math side. And the best pitches hit both sides of it. They're able to create a need, an emotional attachment, but also able to quantify why this purposeful cause-based business is also going to make money and where those numbers come out. Because I have no clue what the manufacturing or cost of goods on that is. I have no clue, you know, how many buckets are sold just for mops, you know, or how many Swifters are sold, or all of those numbers are available to you. And, you know,
I have all of it.
Yeah, and that's beautiful. It's like, you know what that
Yeah.
reminds me of? So just for one second, I'll let you ask a question. I had a guy that could extract oxygen out of fire, right? So he had a sound wave thing that extracted oxygen out of fire. Now,
Oh,
that
wow.
sounds great.
Yeah.
And if I think physically I understand how that works, that if we can extract oxygen from fire, that we would put out all fires very quickly. And he talked about how this could be expanded out to the size of a helicopter, and forest fires would be no more. That had great value. But you know, when I asked him for the patent, he said, "Oh, it's in my car." What good is the patent to that if it's in his car? You know, and if it was
I have a
true,
full utility patent.
I know, I understand. That's what I want to see in the. That's what I want to see in the pitch. Anyway, what
Yeah.
questions do you have for me?
Well, what do you recommend off the top of your head? Do you see this more as a licensing play, or do you just keep going and
I
building
do.
it?
It takes a lot of money to build one SKU, to distribute it, market it, et cetera.
Yeah.
One SKU. There are multiple companies, large companies that, you know, play in that space. Whether it's Johnson and Johnson, P&G, Uline, a variety of manufacturers already. That if you have the IP and there's such a great value to the story that you have, the emotional aspect, and if the numbers make sense, I think, you know, a license would be a great opportunity, and that's where I would start. And it would be determinative
Yeah.
on how you've protected your IP, and where and who exists that would sell a competitive product or a complementary product to that. Obviously, rag companies, sponge companies, mop companies,
Yeah.
all of those cleaning supply companies would be great places to start. So very good question, by the way. Thank you so much.
Thank
Great job. I appreciate you
thank
coming on the
you.
2-minute drill. All
Appreciate
right.
it.
It's amazing what you can do in 2 minutes. That was awesome. We're all learning here. This is not as easy as it looks. You know, try it for yourself. Not as easy at all as it looks. Our next contestant, sponsored by a great organization, YPO. If you haven't checked them out, you got to. They have some of the great executives and professionals in the world. The YPO organization, great training, bonding, community set. Next contestant is Alex Brass, the Biltong brand. Bring it on with Biltong.
Thank you, David. I'm Biltong Brass. Like many people in this country, I've been suffering from chronic illness for the majority of my life. 5 years ago, I launched a matcha green tea business door to door to over 100 stores until my deteriorating health condition rendered me useless. By divine intervention, my close friend and chef Grace sent me a text, and we began our conscious eating movement, and the Biltong brand was born. We like to call it American Biltong. It's a hybrid of a traditional jerky and a traditional air-dried beef biltong. 2 days air-dried, no preservatives, 2 times the protein, and 1/3 of the sugar of a traditional jerky with half the sodium of biltong. We put flavor, function, and health first. Grace has over 10 years experience as a protege to Chef Rick Tarantino and has produced products with QVC, Shark Tank, and the Limones Group for over 7 years, specifically for some of the top jerky brands. With 9 months of testing under our belt and a 1-store test launch, we are ready to enter this multi-billion-dollar beef market and projected $28 billion vegetable snack market by 2028. Grace's partner in crime, Shane, has created one veggie flavor for every meat flavor, led by the Tarantino Food Group head chef. Our intention is to honor the cow of the entire process of food production and promote healthier, more conscious eating, one piece of beef at a time. We're looking for strategic partners to raise $200,000 for 24% of our company and want to make a better, healthier food system. We have
Thank you.
beef.
Alex, thank you so much. I hate to cut you off, but it is the 2-minute drill, not the 2-minute and 5-second drill. So I'm going to have to be very strict on my time on that side of things. But great job. number one, technology-wise, right? It was interesting because you used the advantages of notes. I would have put them closer to the eyeball, so it doesn't necessarily have you turn off in order to read or check your notes. Two, I would know your lighting, right? I would look and see your lighting because you can do a much better job. It's just like going to an office to pitch a whole bunch of venture capitalists and not wear your pants. It's not going to be a good look for you. Here with the big light behind you, it's very difficult to see you or the product or what you're doing. So we want to make sure that we are looking at every single thing to cover our basis of what this presentation credibility looks like. The emotional attachment, both are affected by what the presentation looks like, sounds like, what the content is. And so I think the business is great. On the business side, I would have liked to hear more about the one store pilot. I'd like to hear the numbers of sell through, how exactly you're doing, what the response is to the product. Because once again, all the great products with the great blends and the great production and manufacturing and distribution, if it doesn't taste good and sell through, they're not going to work. And so I'd love to see any type of data on that as well. The best part of the pitch to me was the ask. We're on the sixth contestant here, and that was the strongest ask. It was very clear what you wanted, what percentage, where and what you were doing. I thought that was really good for an initial 2-minute pitch to be able to put that forth. Like I said, 33% of the people never even asked for anything. And I said, what or how can you define something as a pitch if you haven't asked for anything? All you're doing is explaining something to me. And if I wanted to watch a documentary, there's so many different places to watch documentaries, I wouldn't come to a pitch show. So let's make sure that we get a good ask. So you did a great job asking. Speaking of asking, Alex, do you have a question for me?
Yes, I do. And unfortunately, there's feedback on the audio, which I didn't experience yesterday. So that kind of threw me off. But
that's okay.
There's obviously no excuses there. So my question to you, David,
I teach accountability. So what you need to do is ask yourself, what did I do to attract this to myself? And what am I supposed to learn from it? Go ahead.
Definitely. I appreciate that feedback. So my question to you, since this is such a unique product that people have really yet to experience, what do you think is the most strategic way to introduce this product to the masses and people who are looking for healthier food products without sacrificing taste and function?
I'm a big fan of sampling, right? I'm a big fan of the 2-word pitch. If you believe in your product, then all you got to say is try this. Right? If it's that good, people will respond. They will build momentum behind you. You will have the numbers. People say, oh my God, this is the best tasting jerky. It's not jerky. It's part biltong. What's biltong? You get to explain it. You'll start opening up, be able to actually lead them through closed-ended question. Would it help you if I did this? So I would spend and raise money in order to effectuate a marketing sampling campaign, going out. I know you physically with your chronic disease can't do it, but hire a sampling company to go ahead and raise the awareness, build content from the sampling program, people's actual responses and reactions to the product. Building that will then take what I call the stage theory, capturing the sampling program, modifying it for all the different platforms, amplifying it in a variety of different ways, bringing to life a few sampling events that you put on, and then perpetuating that forever. The people that are sitting there, just like the biggest companies in the world, oh my God, I love this. Right? Built on what? Try this. So I would spend my money on a try this campaign, capture, amplify, modify, amplify, and perpetuate that content and allow it to grow at its pace with acceleration and growth with the success that you built. Does that sound fair?
That sounds more than fair. Just to be clear, my chronic illness is 90% cured by my eating and Wim Hof breathing. So I'm more than capable of going out. If the stores let me hand out beef. So
yeah, then run your own sampling campaign. And thank you, Wim Hof. If you haven't seen the Hof method, he's amazing. Had him on the Playbook as well. Same place that you catch the replay of this. We're featured on Spotify. You can check out Wim Hof. You can check out this show as well. So thank you, Alex, for coming on. All right, let's get to the next contestant. It's sponsored by one of my favorite companies, one that I use to meditate. I meditate 20 minutes a day to set the frequency of my day, the highest frequency as a baseline to make sure I'm moving in the right trajectory, plateauing and growing through my day with Muse as our next pitch sponsor. We have John Swastrom, and his company is Plasma Disinfectant. All right, John, let's get the cleanest pitch of the day.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot, Dave. Appreciate for you allowing me to be on this and introduce myself. And I want to thank you and your team. This is the most relevant technology for today, and it has a potential to not only make millions, but billions of dollars. Remember how things used to be before January, where kids were going to school, people going to work, fans going to ball games? I mean, how great was that, right? Well, how would you like to go back to the way things were? We have developed a technology where we can return to those days. Our patented technology can disinfect the air, your body, the room, and surfaces, and stays and disinfects surfaces for up to 68 hours. Our technology is patented mineral solution that through ionization creates a hypochlorous acid and is ultrasonic. Since there's no sodium, it's completely harmless to the body. It could attach to any nebulizer, humidifier, air conditioning, or heating unit. We've also developed a technology that is patented technology where it can take ozone to disinfect the room, but changes it back to H2O2 so that you're not breathing ozone, which is harmful to your body. This not only disinfects, but dramatically reduces the parts per million in a room. We can reduce the parts per million from about 35,000 down to 350 in about 15 minutes. And it kills 99.7% of all bacteria, germs, and viruses. Plus, it brings more oxygen into your body so you have more energy and you recuperate from your workouts faster. We would love for your help and expertise in launching this worldwide and bringing life back to the way it was.
Awesome. All right. Really good pitch. A few things real quick. One, you had 15 more seconds and there's a lot to what you're doing, because the thing I love most about your pitch, John, is you built a picture from the very beginning, right? One that has probably the biggest heart feeling strings, emotional attachment you could have. If you went around and probably asked almost everyone in the world, you know, if you could have a do-over for 2020, would you take it? And I think a very, very high percentage of people would take that do-over, you know, for ball games and schools and all the things that we're missing out on now. Although we've learned lessons and there's some great things that have come from it, I think the majority of the people really felt your pitch that wouldn't it be nice to be able to have the access to have the freedom that we had before and the health that we had before. And I think you could have hit that part as well, the safety mechanism of being able to be healthy and what this does to be healthy. There needed to be, and you had a little bit of time, a little bit of description of what it is, right? I know it's a spray, but how is it distributed, right? Is it through, you know, vapor air conditioners, or do you spray down everybody when they come in? Or, you know, my mind searching for what exactly is it and how do you make money from it, right? So part of that, imagine going back to normal would be, imagine when you entered a ballpark, an outdoor ballpark, somebody giving you you know, a wipe, or somebody spraying you down, or you walking through a vapor, you know, mister. I don't know how it's done, and you know, where the volume money comes from, that, you know, obviously the millions and billions of dollars that would be saved, made, supplemented with this product are extraordinary. I think, you know, it was a shame you had 20 seconds or 15 seconds left. You could have really even built it up more, because you did such a great job on the emotional attachment, you know, building that need. And I think quantifiably, I was a little bit let down of, one, how does it actually work? And two, how can we, you know, what are those billions of dollars? I think you could have cemented it with one sentence. You know, just one baseball game alone has this much in revenue from ticket sales, advertising, marketing, sponsorship, concessions, merchandise, right? And said, imagine just one baseball game carries 13, you know, $1 million of revenue profit. And all they need to do is spend $1,300 to apply this to the 52,000 fans. I don't know how it works, and that was my biggest piece of advice for you. But look, it's a pitch competition. Everybody's learning, and when it comes to putting things in context, that's a really good pitch because it hit the mark in one respect, and almost everyone has. I'd like to learn more. Do you have a question for me?
Well, yeah, when I rehearsed this, it was going 2 minutes, and so I didn't want to go overtime.
Always plan for nerves, man. Everybody's faster. Plan at 2:05 and 2:10. You'll hit 2 minutes, I promise.
Yeah. So, and basically the way it attaches, it's a little unit that attaches to any type of air conditioner, any nebulizer, and you just flip it on. And while the nebulizer, humidifier, air conditioner is on, it actually starts emitting that into the air, and it disinfects all surfaces throughout the air. It can even penetrate your shoe.
Could it be put into cars? Could it be put on normal fans?
Yes, we actually have some professional basketball team in Los Angeles that wants to put it in the locker rooms. And so we're fans, anything. So it's just going to get distributed since it's like air, and it just goes into the air and starts disinfecting whatever it touches.
Perfect. All right. I think we learned a lot from everyone. I think we have enough time to go back to Gigi. So thank you, John. We're going to take Gigi and give her a second chance here on 2 Minute Drill and on the road to revenue and happiness. I'm all about second chances. And Gigi's done an extraordinary job. I hate not to hear what the mentorship program is all about. All right, Gigi, here you go. All right, we're gonna have to give her no chances, third chance. All right, sorry, Gigi, we'll do it next time. We're gonna get on with the show. I apologize. Now, everybody, what these people did is not easy, and hopefully we've learned the lessons about what it takes to be credible in a pitch, what it takes to get emotional attachments. Great examples of that. But most importantly, thinking about how do we quantify the reasons? How do we quantify the impact that the business has? How do we quantify the capabilities, the features and benefits that support the credibility, emotional attachment, and those reasons and impacts? All the contestants did a fabulous job. Now, before we get to the winners, I'd like to show you a short video on how all of this incredible virtual staging and production works, because I've done tons of TV shows, movies, etc., and I can't believe what we're doing here. So why don't we roll a video, and I'm going to bring Brian Lagasse up to announce the winners.
As the event space evolves, Clarity Experiences remains your top choice to elevate your event and create lasting memories. With the recent shift away from large in-person meetings and into a more live streaming format, we have seen a surge in demand for virtual services. But not all virtual services are equal, and not all approaches are right for you. Luckily, Clarity Experiences has been doing virtual events for many years and has extensive experience in the real world. We have identified the best approaches to make the registration process quick and painless, support participation and engagement from all over the world, and elevate your production value with clear messaging and branding opportunities, setting your event apart from the rest. While we still feel face-to-face communication is the most effective way to connect and trade ideas, virtual conferences, when executed properly, serve as the best alternative to live events, and we at Clarity Experiences can help.
Hey, all right. Brian Lagasse, he's the CEO of Clarity. Number one, I want to thank you because you have taken my Friday trainings to the next level. And I'm sitting up here watching myself on all these screens and all the contestants, even though on their side we can't control the technology, which is going to happen. I think more people are accommodating to that. I've seen the biggest night shows where they bring on some, superheroes of entertainment and sports, and they're outside walking around trying to get connections. So there's nothing we could do about that. But my biggest question before we get to the winners, Brian, is how do you actually do this?
Yeah, so Dave, so great to be here, and all the contestants, fantastic job. Technology is, in today's day, you expect it to be a very natural thing that, that works in different ways. And when you're doing a pitch or when you're involved in something like this, that's live, virtual, live, right? There's a lot of factors in that. And what we've done, being in the entertainment industry, the live events industry many, many years, we had to create something that really could be done virtually. And so it was awesome to be able to work with you and your team. And we've been able to build this environment in a typical office, that you might have in any block, in any city, in the United States. And so we've been able to build that and create an environment where you or anybody can come in and really share your message, share your content with all of your audience. And we do that with a lot of different technologies. We use LED screens, we use green screens. Really it's all about the people. But it's been awesome to be part of these pitch events and the 2-minute drill, and really to see all the contestants coming in and sharing their great ideas in this really interesting time. So it's been awesome, and we love to be a part of it.
Well, I appreciate you being a part of it, as well as the other sponsors. Now, you had the luxury of listening and judging all of the contestants. And one of the issues when I'm listening to pitches all day, investing all day, doing the things that I do in mentoring and coaching, COVID is always one of the new dependent variables of how we need to pivot and adapt. And obviously, you have been a leader in the on live stage events for years. That's how you and I had met. And moreover, you had to quickly pivot, and you've done an extraordinary job of that. I was hoping that you could give the entrepreneurs some advice on adapting and pivoting, whatever their business may be, by how you guys pivoted and adapted.
Yeah, absolutely, Dave. The challenge you face, you don't know what your year is gonna happen, right? So you plan, you budget, you have a 3-year, 5-year business plan, and those plans are always aspirational, right? Where you want to see them go. And in March of this year, it all changed. And we went from doing, hundreds of live events across all of North America and the world to really not having any events, right? And a lot of our industry shut down and laid off all their people. And what we did is we looked inside and said, we have an amazing talent of people and ideas. Let's go to those people and those ideas, and let's create something different with the unique talents we have. So rather than cost control and fighting right away and kind of looking at the downside, spin that around and use the energy within your teams, talk to people, ask, right? What can we do different? And our ideas came from all over, people that worked here at Clarity, people from outside of Clarity, that all gave us ideas. And we did pivot really, quickly to really support all of the events industry to doing virtual events, doing pre-recordings, doing, their normal meeting and convention online. So I think really it's about the attitude you have as an entrepreneur and as a business leader. You're going to get hit. You're going to get knocked down. How many times can you fail, right? To keep failing, right? Keep asking questions. And that's really what I learned, and what I would love to share with all of these, really great business leaders is use your people, use the team around you. Some of your contestants talked about the people they used in their idea. And I think that's so important, to have a network of people to help you with your idea and with your business. And so that's what we did at Clarity, and we're fighting the fight every day. But we're so proud to be where we are and to be involved in these events.
Yeah, well, your pivot was my profit. So that's what I'm looking for, is more people to pivot so I can profit. And I really appreciate it, giving, my speeches, my different mentoring things that I do virtually, as well as, of course, the Friday trainings have really come alive. I mean, I'm watching that screen going, I can't believe I'm really not in a studio. Like, I'm just in an office. Yeah. This is incredible. Anyway, all right. Well, you had the luxury of listening to all of the great contestants. We're going to pick 3 winners. And we're going to start with the 3rd place winner, who's going to get 1 month of my private group training for free. All the exercises, guides, and books that I have for free as a prize. The 3rd place winner is sponsored by Working Stiffs. By the way, we had golf shirts on when we did a rehearsal yesterday. Not only do they have the ties for your dress shirts, which are obvious, but the cooler thing is, because I'm a Southern California guy, ex-golfer, don't have time to do it anymore, but I had never found my golf shirts get funky collars. And so really cool. They have a golf shirt stay for there, and Working Stiffs has a great name. But anyway, who do you have for the 3rd place winner, and why?
Yeah, I love the Working Stiffs. I need a few of those for all my customers. Fantastic sponsor. Love that. So what we have for the 3rd place winner, what will they receive?
Yeah, they get 1 month of free private group training, and then my books, exercises, and guides, all for free.
Awesome. So what looking at and listening to all the different pitches, what I really liked about this one was that he clearly presented the revenue model, and he also had a lot of different channels that the idea would be able to be affected in. So the 3rd place winner is Giovanni.
Faster, the real running mobile application.
All right. I thought that was really well done. And as always, I'm looking forward to coaching Giovanni and helping him. Where is he at?
Yeah,
there?
Giovanni, we loved your, your screen in the background supporting your pitch. You did some really great things. You look great on your pitch. And so I think you did a fantastic job.
And we'll also throw in some working stiff stays for your dress shirts and your golf shirts. So we'll send those out to you as well. And I particularly like the technology usage. I think too many people when they're pitching today forget there's a huge advantage, Giovanni, of using technology instead of standing in a conference room. So well done. And I look forward to working with you, as I said. Awesome. All right. Well, now on to the second place winner. I have a great sponsor, Spotify. They're featuring the Playbook. All of the Friday trainings, they get featured on Spotify Entrepreneur, but it's the #1 downloaded Playbook, which is the podcast that I have. And so the second place winner is going to get a whole year of my private group training, all the exercise guides and books, etc. as well. And I want to thank Spotify for sponsoring the second place winner. Who do you have and why?
Keying in on is what's the business model? What's the opportunity, right? And can it be, can it be something that has a significant impact in the business, in the industry or the world? And can it make a lot of money, right? Is this a product that's going to be, scalable and it's going to have a big impact? And so the person I selected for the second place was John.
That's right.
Swastrom, plasma disinfectant.
Hey, John, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I think you had the biggest idea, obviously, of anyone. And that was the only lesson that I think I've learned is when you have such a big idea, it gets hard to explain quantifiably how big it is. So make sure that we get that story down because people, they love a story. You hit them emotionally. You definitely were in my top 2 as well. And I certainly look forward to working with you for a year and seeing how we can take this thing and save a lot of lives. And most importantly, baseball.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very
All
good.
right. Now the time everyone's been waiting for, at least I have. And #1, I want to thank you, Brian, because Clarity is sponsoring, 1 month of one-on-one business advisory from me. That's 24/7, me being on call, plus scheduled calls, plus the private group for a year, plus all the guides, books, and exercises that I give. And I guarantee profitability. So it's probably the best sponsorship there is because I guarantee that the winner is going to receive what he deserves, which is profit, passion, and purpose in what they're doing. So I appreciate you and everything you do for the show. Who do you think, who is, sorry about that, guys. Who's the first place winner and why?
So I listened to all the pitches and I was looking for a few different things. One was, did they really explain the business idea, and could I emotionally connect to it? And in this particular pitch, it was very much something that I relate to and something that I think has a lot of opportunity in our world, especially for our younger generations, and it can grow to be an amazing business. So I'm super pleased to announce the winner of our first place prize, Jefferson Nicholson, Dash City Esports.
All right.
Thank you guys so much. Wow.
Congratulations. And I'm looking the wrong way, I think. Let me look up
You're
here.
good, you're good,
There we
you're
go.
good, you're good.
I want to point that out because that's the purpose of this, right?
Yes.
And so this just proves, I'm literally sitting in an office and it looks better than my TV studios that are incredible. And I want people to know that. So I am sorry for looking the wrong way, Jefferson, but I am so excited because I love the space. I really love the business. And I don't think you've given yourself enough credit of how successful that business is. You and I have even talked about esports mostly because our kids play more than anything else. It's incredible the size, scope, and scale of your business, Jefferson. And I'm really looking forward to giving you that one-on-one business advisory, having you join our incredible group, as well as giving you the exercises, guides. And most importantly, thank you, Clarity, for showing me where Jefferson was here.
Absolutely.
I finally
Thanks
learned.
so much, Jefferson. We appreciate it.
Thank
and
you.
We're super excited.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. This was the best ever. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your understanding, and thank you especially to Clarity Experience and Bloomberg, our great sponsors that make this possible. Thank you for coming to the Friday trainings. They're every Friday live at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern time. But the replays get much more. It is featured on Spotify and Entrepreneur. It's featured on my podcast, The Playbook. The most downloaded playbook I have are these trainings and are these shows. We're looking forward to putting this, as we finally learn out where everybody's at, to putting it on Bloomberg TV, Reach TV, and my normal distribution as well. I will figure out where everyone's name, number. Remember, I want to thank Bloomberg, Alkaline 88, CBD MD, Carnegie, Hub, Vivint Solar, YPO, Muse, Working Stiff, Spotify, especially for featuring the playbook and me, and most importantly, providing me this unbelievable stage in an office that looks so cool and did such a great job for me. Clarity Experiences, Brian Lagasse, the CEO of Clarity. Check them out. If you need any information, if you want the books, exercises, guides for free, if you want the perfect pitch guide, remember, that is free. I will send it to you. David@dmeltzer.com. You can text me to join my community, 949-298-2905. And of course, you can check out Clarity Experiences at clarityexperiences.com. Brian Lagasse here with David Meltzer. Thank you so much for Friday training and joining in the best ever 2-minute drill. We'll see you next week. And remember, most importantly, be kind to your future self and do good deeds.